federal government's charges on Omoyele Sowore is up next. The federal government of Nigeria has slammed a fresh 7-count charge against detained political activist and convener of the revolution now protest, Omoyele Sowore, accusing him of treason, money laundering, and cyber stalking, of course, the president, Muhammadu Buhari. According to the charge, the federal government alleges that the defendants conspired to commit treasonable felony contrary to Section 516 of the Criminal Code Act, Cap C 38 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and punishable under the same section of the Act. The government also accuses Sowore of committing cyber stalking contrary to Section 24(1)(b) of the Cyber Crimes Prohibition Prevention Act of 2015, and also punishable under the same section of the Act. Now, for those who don't know what cyber stalking means, it simply means a repeated use of electronic communication to harass or frighten someone. For example, sending threatening emails, that's what cyber. So he's been doing that to the president, according to. Cyberbullying. Okay. Now, another count accuses Omoyele Sowore of illegal transfer of funds contrary to Section 15(1) of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act of 2011, also punishable under the same section of the Act. Now, DSS told the courts that Sowore got foreign sponsorship to wage war against the administration of President Buhari. It tendered evidence to prove that Sowore held meetings with both the leader of the proscribed IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, and also members of the proscribed IMN. Okay, so this is where we are. A lot of
I'm surprised you didn't say he went to the toilet without permission.
A lot of notable Nigerians, have been wading into this and giving their own. Yes, for instance, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has described the charges against Sowore as a confirmation of the Buhari-led administration's unprecedented level of paranoia. Let me start from Mr. Sangbi.
Yeah.
Let's react.
Yeah, first, I'm a little bit reluctant to speak on the Sowore thing for some reasons. One, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of his. I don't respect him, because of the way he pursues the views that he represents. And then he has become, over time, double. You
don't like his methodology? Not his ideology.
No. Well, okay. Whatever. The methodology cannot be separated from the ideology. That he represents. Too aggressive for my liking. And all that. But the truth of the matter is that here was somebody who encouraged civil disobedience against the constituted authority of President Jonathan during his time. Leveled falsehood against the government of the day then, particularly on fuel increase prices.
Okay.
And then it did that, and it was rumored then that he was, an agent of the same people who are persecuting him now. So I'm a little bit reluctant to bring myself to his level to start discussing it. But because this has become a national issue, as far as I'm concerned, I'm being distracted by it. Because the government of the day is being distracted by it. Government is becoming not just paranoid, like the Nobel laureate said, but becoming petty. And they have brought this whole thing to a very ridiculous level, where they are looking for everything under the sun to just, do you get?
I get that.
This is a democracy. He's got his right. And cyberbullying in Nigeria did not even begin today. This fellow has harassed Okonjo-Iweala. Like, you read her book, with emails, with telephone calls, threatening, insulting, and embarrassing and humiliating this woman. Okay? And nothing was done by the same DSS. And what we must know is that DSS is not, the DSS of today is not for Buhari. The DSS is a government institution because President Buhari will leave office. The DSS is a continuum.
So it's a continuum.
Yeah, so they didn't.
Okay, but Mr. Sangbe, can we leave the individual and look at
I'm going there now. My final take on this is that those charges are childish.
A bit chopped up.
Yes, it's becoming. In fact, this government is, as far as I'm concerned, their rating. If you do the rating now based on this, it's nosedive. It's not what you want to be involved in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just what my take is. Making him look like a political prisoner making him look like a hero. In fact, they're making a hero out of him.
Okay, all right.
I feel that since the case has gone to court, we should know how to discuss it. I know that Sowore will have his day in court. He will have his lawyers to defend him. I also believe that there are some charges leveled against him. One is felony. First, treason. Okay. One is on this program. I think I didn't quite like the use of revolution in his protest. I said that before because this is, if it was in a military era, I don't know whether Sowore would have lived to see tomorrow, because they would have just put up something and done the needful, because they know that it's a threat when you use that word. And again, in terms of money laundering, that is a new one for me. I didn't know that I'm also involved in that. If the DSS should come up with that charges, I think they should have something to present in court. Again, cyberbullying, all of us suffer from it. As small as you are now, Patience, I know that you must have experienced it too, as a presenters of this program, where some people will not like the topic that you raise and your opinion. So all of us suffer from cyberbullying, and I know that in this world, I think President Jonathan said he was the most abused president. That didn't happen face to face. It happens on the social media, right? And he didn't go to court. He didn't arrest anyone. He didn't do all of those things. And don't also forget that the internet is new to us. In this part of it, the social media is new to us. So we are very enthusiastic.
It's new to everybody.
It's new to us, in our climate here, the way we are using it.
So sometimes you go above and beyond without even knowing where the limits, where to draw the limits. I get that, okay.
You are coming from the background of the media being for the elite, that you must pay so much, you must have so much money to access the media. Now the social media that is so free, as long as you buy 100 naira data, you are free to say whatever you want. Do you understand? So we are so enthusiastic and want to say all the things that we want. And I think he may actually have a point in court on that. So at the end of the day, I feel that Sowore should get his lawyer ready, because if he doesn't, if the government has a good lawyer, have a good case, he will go to jail.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Now, this case was filed at the Federal High Court just 24 hours, one day to the expiration of the 45-day, period the court granted the DSS to hold him. Now, does that seem a bit suspicious, if you know what I mean?
No, it's better to throw everything at him, including the kitchen sink, than to ask for an extension.
Wow.
So that's what they are trying to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because most of the charges are laughable in the list. You and I know that most of them, who alleges must prove. So this is just an excuse to hold him down under another guy.
Okay.
And another 30 days, 40 days will go.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting a lot of reactions from our viewers. Let's see if we can read a couple. Margaret from Oregon says, morning, Patience. Afternoon, Margaret. This government has never been honest with Nigerians, and so anyone who says the truth is their enemy. Even if they jail Sowore, it only shows that they are afraid they have not done well. But one thing is sure, that when we can no longer take the suffering, we'll all come out and take our future in our hands. Margaret from Oregon said that one in. All right, this other one coming in from Frank says, okay, this doesn't pertain to what we're discussing, Frank. Okay, this one is already going ahead of me, saying, what is Babangida saying to Igbos? My question is, are Igbos Nigerian citizens? He went further to say, why is it that federal government don't go after people that commit crime as at the time the crime is committed? All right, this other one says, what I see in Sowore's case with the federal government is an issue of autocratic government who wants to silence a citizen from speaking against the ills of the government. During Goodluck's regime, there were lots of protests. Nobody was detained. And I dare say, even the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, has also come out to say...
don't forget that there's a newspaper in London that called Mr. President, ineffectual baboon. And we were all laughing, right?
Buffoon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
that's the height of it.
Yes, that was the most mocked.
The current
in my own
president
recollection,
has never been mocked the way President.
There's hardly anything that wasn't done. You know, even cartoon.
To his wife, not just limited to him.
Even till date.
To his wife, till
today.
Do you understand? And when you see some of these things, and you see, it's not good to set a very wrong precedent. I always like to say it. Now, today, like Peter said, I share his sentiment concerning Sowore. It's my colleague, he owns a media outfit, Sarah reporter, and the rest of it. And he has not been very fair in doing his job. He has not been very professional, let me put it that way, in doing his job. And also, don't also forget that he's one of those who campaigned in 2015 and said he would lay down his life if Buhari does not become Nigerian president. Today, I'm so excited that he's stewing in his own juice.